All right, guys, what's going on? How y'all doing today? Not too bad myself. This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I'm coming at you live for, well, it's about a week late, I know, but, I want to get my thoughts on it because I still am definitely interested in this product once it starts getting its weekly show as of now, Wednesday nights on TNT in October. But this is my live review of WWE. Wait. Sorry there. Meant to say AEW. Wrong promotion. But this is my live review, my second review regarding All Elite Wrestling of their second show, Fyter Fest 2019, which took place on June 29th, 2019, last Saturday, at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida. Going into the show now, here's the thing. Again, this I did finish watching Fyter Fest. I think it was like Wednesday, but of course I had like a very busy. Again, this week's has been like very crazy and whatnot. As I keep saying, just a lot of things being played by ear. Nothing bad. Again, just stuff with my family. Just plans with my family, basically. So this is late, and I also want to make sure I gave this time to actually think things over a little bit. Because I'm still getting to know people in AEW. I know a few names like Cody Rhodes, Jon Moxley, Sean Spears, I somewhat, who, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are and the Lucha Bros. I'm still getting to know people. So I want to make sure I come up here and actually talk a little bit about this show without sounding like I'm just really just reading off, results saying, yeah, this is good, move on to the next and whatnot. So I just wanted to give time for that. So I feel ready to kind of talk about this show in somewhat, because overall, going into the show, I didn't expect it to be as good as Double or Nothing. This was more of a show just to basically, this and Fight for the Fallen, which is going to be, I think, next Saturday, which once again, I actually am going to be going on a little camping trip next weekend. So I probably won't be able to catch that immediately. I'll probably watch that after. I'll probably catch that after I catch Extreme Rules on Sunday. Well, sometime the following week, I will catch Fight for the Fallen, which is, of course, free again on Bleacher Report Live, which is how I was able to watch Fyter Fest. Because I will be watching All Out in August with friends. I'll be watching that as well, and also NXT UK Takeover Cardiff. So overall, though, I didn't expect this to be good as Double or Nothing. This is either gonna be like a B pay-per-view or just like, since AEW hasn't debuted their weekly show yet, this is kind of like one of their weekly shows, just to keep AEW out on the map and say, hey guys, we're doing this and whatnot. Just say, hey, come watch us, basically, when it happens. And I think it was very successful in that rate. In terms of that, again, it was not as historic as Double or Nothing, I thought, but it was still a fun show to definitely watch and to get a little more interested in the product. Commentary was great between Jim Ross, the executor, or whatever heck, the Excalibur, and the other guy, whatever heck his name was, which a lot of people said the third commentator, I can't remember what his name was better than the third commentator that they had at Double or Nothing. So not as long a show, it was only about 2.5 hours, which is what it felt it needed to be. Very refreshing, of course. We didn't see Chris Jericho on this show, or Dustin Rhodes or a couple other people. We still saw Cody Rhodes, though, Brandy Rhodes. We saw some women's action. We didn't see Britt Baker, though. We saw some triple threat match of women's action. We saw the Elite. And, of course, the main event, well, even though it was not considered an actual match of the show because it was non-sanctioned, the main event match between Jon Moxley and Joey Janela, which to me was probably my personal favorite match of the night. The three matches towards the end of the show I felt were definitely the strongest of the show for sure. Of course, we'll talk about it. And, of course, also, I bet you also all wondering my thoughts on what happened after the Cody and Darby Allin match with Sean Spears' actions with what he did. Let's see, though, what we got in the live chat, though, before we get started. What's up, Robbie? He says, Fight for the Fallen is next Saturday, which, again, yes, I will check that out. But again, I'll be on a camping trip next weekend. I will be back though in time though. We're coming back late Saturday night, so I will be here to watch to review Extreme Rules. But I'll have to probably wait till like sometime that week, which again will not after this Sunday. When my sister goes home, things won't be as chaotic unless I get a job I just recently got an interview for. So we're just waiting to hear back from that. But anyways. I will catch Fight for the Fallen sometime, that following week after it airs next Saturday. Nyla Rose is greater than Nia Jax. Oh, we will be talking about that. Yeah, Nia Jax. basically. Roman Reigns and Undertaker as a tag team. Yeah, for sure. I still don't get that one. AEW Takeover Fyter Fest. You got that right. Because once again, this, if WWE was producing this pay-per-view, this probably would have felt more like a glorified house show. Which, again, as I described it, it felt like a really good show of like a weekly, it's maybe like a B pay-per-view slash, week, like, great weekly show, basically, that Fyter Fest felt like. Because, again, it's still, kind of getting AEW on the map. Once I'm sure when AEW gets to, its weekly shows, they're not going to be, these shows are going to feel like just like B pay-per-views, like strong B pay-per-views. This was a good show, as I keep saying. But enough to talk, though, about this. Let's get into the review. I did not get to watch the pre-show, but just read the results from that. We had the three-way tag match between the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, taking on the so-called uncensored Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian, taking on Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy, and Mark Quinn, or if that's how you pronounce their name, and the best friends won by pinfall. We also had Ali versus Leva Bates, when Ali won by pinfall. And we also had a hardcore match between Alex Jabali and Michael Nakazawa, where Nakazawa won by pinfall. So that happened on the pre-show. But again, I can't really talk about those matches because I didn't see them. But let's talk about the shows on the matches on the main card. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 6 matches on the main card. When's the last time, of course, on a main roster card we've seen 6 matches? Well, Hell in a Cell last year had 7, but it was still like a 3.5-hour show. But Hell in a Cell last year wasn't too bad, except for the main event. But anyways, so we have the main card here. We started off with a match with Christopher Daniels of the so-called Uncensored, I believe he is, taking on Sema. Not a bad match. Apparently Christopher Daniels, people have rated about how Christopher Daniels is like, in his like late 40s, like basically, Chris Jericho's age. And even though he's no Chris Jericho, he still, can do some decent work in the ring. And I definitely agree. He seemed like, saw me. I wouldn't think he's as old as he was if no one would have said anything. But I thought it was a good match. Definitely give these guys some TV time for sure. Sema won by pinfall. And just a decent match with the show, just gets to know Christopher Daniels and Sema a little bit more, as I said. So that was a good match there. We then have a match I can definitely talk a little more about, though, is the 3-way triple threat women's match we had. Yuka Sakazaki taking on Rio and Nyla Rose. Of course, last show at Double or Nothing, trying to remember, we had Britt Baker, Kylie Ray, who again never stops smiling, Nyla Rose, and Awesome Kong participate in a fatal 4-way match. And even though, of course, Britt Baker won that match, that was still kind of like, match was more so about, getting some spotlight on Awesome Kong, as she was a surprise, addition to the AEW roster as well. Of course, Britt Baker won that to give her some momentum. She's definitely a bigger name. And the girlfriend of Adam Rose. Adam Cole. Wow. Hold the phone there, people. I just mixed up Adam Cole with Adam Rose. I deserve to be punished for that. I just made the list, basically. Anyways, but no, this is a good match. But as I said, for the Fatal 4-Way at the last show, it was kind of about giving the attention to Awesome Kong. This match, I felt, even though she didn't win the match, was a little more about Nyla Rose. And as I agree, Robbie says, and Deluxe Man, a few other people who I, got their see their thoughts on Fyter Fest also before I did my review, just to, help me, put some pieces of the puzzle together as well. Like, Nyla Rose is exactly what Nia Jax should be in WWE. Besides the fact that Nia Jax can't act. My gosh, like, everybody's talking about me on the internet. Maybe I'll replace Becky Lynch or something. Like stuff that just like, it's like, this is the best you got. Like, you're boring. Oh my gosh, like everybody's talking about me. It's all she even wants to say. You're a big looking monster who should be dominating everybody, including the men. And all you do is like, my God, everybody's talking about me. Once again, gossip. But anyways, but also what I've always said that I cannot stand about Nia Jax on the main roster is go back and watch the match with Nia Jax and Bayley at NXT TakeOver London. Like, that was probably one of Nia Jax's best matches. And she was still, very new, still probably, somewhat green, but of course they rushed up to the main roster, as it is said before. But the thing about it, that was the only matches where Nia Jax, like, she was just, going through the motions and just, like, like, taking it easy. Like, Nyla Rose was not taking it easy in this match. She was looking like a dominant, big woman, basically, who is tough to beat. And eventually, yes, I'm pretty sure Tony Khan and, Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes and anyone, whoever is writing this show, or, since there's more creative freedom in AEW, won't be. I'm sure they won't be having, like, her just getting, the whole cocky and, oh, I'm not finished with you. I want to continue to hurt you a little bit more. That, like, those matches where it's like, people are like, about to win. It's like, no, not yet. I want to punish these people a little bit more. That's exactly what happened with this match with Nyla Rose, Rio, and Sakazaki, where, like, Nyla Rose easily had this match won. But she continued just to punish, the other women in this match, got cocky before it eventually costed her the match because Rio won by pinfall over Nyla Rose, which is okay. But of course, eventually, you're gonna just, of course, put her over, give a rub to someone else. That's kind of what happened, of course, at the last show where he gave, Britt Baker came up with the win, making her look good. Awesome Kong and Nyla Rose look good. And, Kylie Ray was established as just the, the more, underdog of the women's division as well for AEW. So obviously, they're probably either going to give Nyla Rose or Britt Baker a run with the women's title first. I don't know if they'll give it to Awesome Kong yet, but I think it's going to be either Britt Baker or Nyla Rose being the first AEW women's champion, I feel. But after the match, though, Nyla Rose attacked Rio. And then Yuka Sakazaki helped take Rose out of the ring with a double team, but then Rio wasn't having the friendship side of things at all either. So we'll see, of course, where it goes from there. But, again, the Fatal 4-Way, everybody kind of got their spotlight. Definitely the biggest news out of that was the debut of Awesome Kong, the surprise arrival of Awesome Kong. But this match, of course, the other two look great, but this match was about, making Nyla Rose like a dominating, big woman. And literally look like a monster and not going through the motions like they do with Nia Jax in WWE. But yeah, good match there between these three women. The next match was a Fatal 4-Way match. It was Adam Hangman Page taking on Jimmy Havoc, Jungle Boy, and MJF. Maxwell, I forgot his actual names, but he's the guy obviously that a lot of people are hyping up as a guy to watch. Like, to me, he's like, the Miz. Well, Miz the heel of AEW. He's like excellent on the microphone. I definitely like his microphone skills. He came out first at the beginning, just trashing everyone, the audience and whatnot, just doing a good job with it, and actually, sounding intelligent. And even in the ring, I thought he looked pretty good as well. Same with, not bad stuff from Jimmy Havoc and Jungle Boy. Of course, this match though was suspended to put, give some other people some light as well, but also to rack up a victory for Adam Hangman Page, who we all know at All Out is going to be facing Chris Jericho, be Kenny Omega at Double or Nothing. But those two will be facing off in the main event for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So this match, Adam Hangman Page got the win, but he pinned Jimmy Havoc, which is fine because eventually, whether Adam Hangman Page gets the championship or not, at some point down the line, we're going to definitely be having a feud with Adam Hangman Page and MJF. Definitely, as they are definitely, whether Page wins the title or not, him and MJF are definitely going to be like some of the first people, because we already got people like Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, probably those and maybe a couple other people, maybe even Cody Rhodes, who you definitely can already see as main event stars on this AEW roster. But of course, I feel like Adam Hangman Page, MJF, and a few others are ones that they're on their way to getting there, as I said before. So so obviously those are two guys I think AEW should definitely focus on. Give the upper mid card push, but soon to be main event push. Basically, I think that they will get as time goes on. Again, just to get Adam Hangman Page on the card and give him a win. I forgot who they're rumored to be facing at Fight for the Fallen. We'll wait and see what happens there. I guess Neville is not. Pac is definitely not coming to AEW anytime soon again, because he was supposed to lose the Page if they would have had the match at Double or Nothing, but he didn't want to lose to him because since he's the Dragon Weight World Champion, he didn't think he should be losing matches right now, which is understandable. So that's why he pulled himself from Double or Nothing, I guess for now, from All Elite Wrestling. But I do hope we definitely get to see Pac, formerly known as Neville or Adrian Neville, get some time also in AEW as well down the line when the right time happens. So we had that. Those were the first 3 matches, which again weren't bad. The second half of the show, I gotta say, was definitely a little more interesting to me. But everything else I thought was still good. But we'll talk about that in a second. Let's check the live chat and see what we got here. A Hell in a Cell main event for the Universal title that ended in a no contest. Yeah. Again, that's why Hell in a Cell had a bad ending. Great Women's 3-Way. Nyla Rose is a female monster booked right. Exactly. And MJF is EC3 should have been booked like on the main roster. And I agree. EC3, has the look. He has the charisma. He has the microphone skills. Of course, they're not having him pretend he can't talk, despite the fact that segment of Moment of Bliss he was on, I thought was pretty funny with at the time, Dean Ambrose, before he returned to Jon Moxley. Who are you? What does EC3 mean? Where are EC 1 and 2? Are you a Creed fan? Yeah, but yeah, I definitely agree. No, EC3 could have been like exactly what MJF is. Definitely very interested in seeing what they do with MJF for sure. As I said, he's definitely one person, like one of the first people that AEW needs to focus on, definitely making him into a top, main event heel for sure. For AEW's roster. But yeah, good stuff in the live chat, Robbie. Continuing on now, this is the second half of the show, where the fourth match on the show was Cody Rhodes taking on Darby Allin. And I actually was very interested in Darby Allin. I think they were saying like he came out, the costume and the makeup he has on and such is kind of representing the scars of his life, like the struggles he has faced in his life for sure. From some lost family members and whatnot to, just what he's gone through. Basically, the story that they were given in the pre-match promo they had with him and Cody Rhodes, who already, to me, Cody Rhodes, already has himself established with All Elite Wrestling based off of, what he has done again since he left WWE, leaving to basically prove that, hey, I don't need this company to make money and to be successful, which again, he has been through ROH, New Japan, and now, of course, All Elite Wrestling as well, and just anything he's been a part of. But I thought, Cody Rhodes didn't need to exactly win this match, in my opinion. And that's why this match actually ended in a draw, because AEW does have the time limit, because a 20-minute time limit this match had, and this match ran out of time. It went exactly 20 minutes. And Cody Rhodes, threw everything at Darby Allin and looked like dominating, battling through this match. But this was kind of meant to somewhat, establish Darby Allin as like an underdog man who, everybody, hey, you should be watching this guy. And I definitely thought, again, the character he somewhat presented, the story he told, was definitely somewhat presentable. He also carries around this bag, which at first, when I saw this, I thought, oh, maybe, this bag is kind of like, Cody Rhodes replicating his, paper bag on top of the face gimmick that he had in 2011 in WWE. But instead, no, this has to do with Darby Allin, who is basically him bringing along people who couldn't be with him. But again, Cody Rhodes even tried playing the mind games as well. There was a point in the match where Cody actually put Darby Allin in the bag, closed it, hit his disaster kick on him, and that wasn't even enough to keep Darby Allin down. I mean, Cody dominated most of this match, but of course, this is still meant to make him look dominating and to, look like he probably could have beaten Darby Allin, but make Darby Allin look dominating as well, showing that, hey, it's going to take a lot to keep him down as well. And that's the vibe I got out of this match. I thought it was definitely, in my opinion, one of the top 3 matches of the night, I got to say. Of course, again, it would go to a draw as he's about to get the 3 count, but then he was just a second too late as his match went to a draw, which, completely fine. I mean, if it was like WWE or a company, like some people would just overdo, like the draw, the time limit, and means absolutely nothing. No, this felt like it meant something with, them having a guy well established as Cody Rhodes, and us, trying to get someone like Darby Allin, maybe say, hey, I want to see more out of this. It left me wanting more. And with, Brandy Rhodes at ringside, her and Cody being part of the ownership for AEW, they're probably trying to, get the match to restart. That way, he could close out the victory. Well, then here comes one of the moments of the night that was definitely, I heard around the world. And why this definitely was like one of the most brutal moments of the night. Out came Shawn Spears. We all know him as the Perfect 10 Ty Dillinger. He comes out with a steel chair. Now, apparently, from what I'm hearing, this angle came about. The storyline is coming about because when Shawn Spears signed with AEW, Cody Rhodes basically doubted him, saying, "Yeah, you're going to be like a utility player, but you're not going to be a main event star. You're not going to be as big as you think people think you think you could be, and whatnot." So this was him getting his comeuppance on Cody Rhodes. Spears came out holding a steel chair in his hand. The same thing that Seth Rollins has been going nuts over, whacking people with for how many weeks now. He has a history that I keep saying maybe Seth Rollins needs his own steel chair and a personal customized steel chair because, he has a history of steel chairs. Anyways, Spears comes out of the chair. And Cody Rhodes was not looking. He turns around. And as soon as he turns around, Spears just wallops this chair, whacking him on the top of the head. Cody didn't even put up his hands or anything to protect himself. And Cody went down. And blood started pouring out of the back of his head. Like it looked like, there was a little puddle of blood, right by where he was, right where he had lain, or, his hair was turning all red because, he has, blonde hair now. And, the blood just, blends in very easily. But it was like, it wasn't just like, just like a protected shot. Like Spears literally hit him with everything he got, knocking Cody down. And then after, of course, that happened, Brandy Rhodes, MJF, and the SCU came out to check on Cody and helped him out. Apparently, Cody didn't get a concussion from the chair shot, but he did have to get 12 stitches in his head, I think, from that chair shot. But of course, a lot of people will definitely, raising the questions about this. Like, was this, supposed to happen? Like, yes, apparently this was supposed to happen. Shawn Spears and Cody Rhodes obviously did have a chat saying, like, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to plan this out. You're going to literally whack me in the head as hard as hitting the chair. Because, it's just the storyline of, Cody Rhodes doubting that Shawn Spears is going to be no more than a utility player in AEW, which, of course, this was not a Spears AEW debut. He was in the 21-man Casino Battle Royale at Double or Nothing, the pre-show. But this is kind of like where he started to get his attention. It's obviously set up a match between him and Cody at All Out in August, which I think can be definitely a good match. Definitely allows us to see, Shawn Spears get a bigger spotlight than he did in WWE, besides NXT, of course, with Ty Dillinger. But my thing is my take on this is like, if they agree to do this, and as long as Cody's okay, I'm not going to, bash AEW for doing this, but it definitely was risky. Definitely, again, it looked brutal. It was hard. It could have definitely severely hurt Cody. So I don't know, maybe at least give like one hand up. But, again, like, Deluxe brought up a good point in his review. People wanted an alternative to WWE. They wanted, a TV 14 product, even though there's rumors of WWE starting to, venture away from the PG era and focus more on a teen audience, which honestly needs to be the case. Because honestly, pro wrestling was never meant to be a kid's show. But he's got a point saying that, like, this is stuff they have to do to give us that alternative. Because the moment they bring out, protected chair shot, and then you can't do headshots anymore, he's right. It's going to start feeling like it's WWE again with AEW. Even though, of course, there's some stuff that I'm sure AEW would still do if WWE didn't have that done. But it's still, like a slight risk. So, like, yes, Cody was okay. It worked. It was planned out, but it's definitely something to just be careful with, I gotta say, for sure. We don't want to see anybody, literally, end their career with, taking a bunch of chair shots to the head. I mean, like, yes, like, well, again, maybe not all the time. Hey, no hands up, protecting yourself, chair shots for sure. But like a moment like this, a chair shot to the head without protection needs to feel special. Like, well, it needs to feel like a big moment. And this did feel like, an impactful moment. But it's like every single week, if you're going to have Shawn Spears come out and just do chair shots to the head after another, then it's just going to get old, basically. You can't, like, overdo it. So, like, not all the time, but just be careful with it, I gotta say, because we don't want to see Cody's career getting ended from like constant chair shots to the head and whatnot. But that, of course, is my take on that. And of course, you wanted that. But I definitely am interested to see where this goes, as we were probably going to begin a match with Cody Rhodes and Shawn Spears at I'm sorry, just Cody and now because Cody Rhodes is owned by WWE. But to me, he'll still always be Cody Rhodes. Yeah, so Cody Rhodes and Shawn Spears will probably have a match at All Out in August. We then have a fun 6-man tag match between the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, taking on the Lucha Bros, Ray Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix and Laredo Kid in their corner as well. Fun match you expect from definitely the biggest names from AAA, and also the biggest names out of like New Japan and whatnot. But there's some great back and forth action there. Some signs of like the match happened, but sometimes some interaction. Obviously, because these are 6 guys who have probably some of the biggest egos from the brands that they're coming from, and obviously they gotta emphasize that story in there. It's like it's not just these 6 egos handling each other. It's literally New Japan versus AAA in this match. There was a lot of great spots in the match for sure. Of course, the Elite end up winning the match, and after the match, Kenny Omega calls in the 3 members of Lucha Bros. Not all time to be shaking hands. This is great, whatnot. More so, just like, hey, this isn't over between us. I'm pretty sure we're going to be meeting again sometime. So we'll see. It's definitely some of these guys are going to be part of the tag team division, and some of course are going to be getting some singles pushes as well, like Kenny Omega for sure. I know the Young Bucks, Lucha Bros. They're definitely going to be getting some big attention once it comes to whatever the tag titles are. Which I think one of those that 3-way tag team match on the pre-show, I think that was for the winner got either like a first round bye or something like that in the tag team tournament. I think I heard is going to start once AEW's weekly show takes place, and because the tag title is not going to be crowned right away, we're going to get, of course, a world champion first, and then the other side, the women's and tag titles. I'm not sure they'll have like a secondary men's title or anything once it happens. But I'm pretty sure also AEW is not going to overload with titles like the WWE has. We don't need 2 tag champions. We don't need 2 world champions or 2 women's champions or the stupid 24/7 title. But we'll see what it brings to the plate. But good 6-man tag team match. And then finally, of course, that was the last match of the actual show. The lights went out, and it came back on as we have one more match, the non-sanctioned match. Joey Janela taking on, in his in-ring debut in All Elite Wrestling, Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose. Now, before I talk about this match, I did watch a video earlier today. Apparently, Moxley's current deal with AEW is for 3 years. But he has the option to opt out of his contract after 1 year, which some saying, maybe he could return to WWE, because apparently he told, Vince and them when he first told him that he was leaving that, oh, I'm going to take a year off just to, have my body recover and my brain recover. No, I really don't think Moxley's going back to WWE anytime soon. I've also heard rumors that apparently Roman Reigns might be leaving WWE in 2021 after his contract expires to focus more on Hollywood. So some interesting rumblings there, but just to get that out there since we're talking about Moxley. But anyways, great match between Moxley and Janela. I mean, it was, not like the biggest name for sure for, even though I don't really know much about Joey Janela, but obviously Janela claimed to be more of like, the, more modern day extreme hardcore wrestler that he wants to be more known for. Where Jon Moxley has that history of it. Of course, he's been away as Moxley for a time being, for the 8 years he was in WWE. And of course, kind of said, oh, you're just a PG era star, basically. Kind of like in that little story they brought in there. So this match was obviously just to prove who was the more extreme man. And first off, you can tell that Moxley was enjoying the hell out of himself in this match. Like, this is like spots that he's been waiting to do for quite some time. A lot of people say this match was not as extreme as they'd hoped to be, which, yeah, we didn't have, any, people saying, stuff with like, fire or like, explosives and, other extreme stuff that like, like the Attitude Era presented, which is okay because eventually we're going to get that. You don't want to, give it all out right now. And then, well, no pun intended, because maybe they will go all out with the match that Moxley's going to be having at All Out. But of course, they're building that very nicely, I shall say. They want to go all out eventually, but not go all out right away, especially on like a B show like this was. This once again was a great addition to AEW's build, whatnot, but it was not going to be as good as Double or Nothing. But anyways, this match featured a lot of use of like weapons. There was tables, barbed wire bats, barbed wire tables as well, which I'm like, okay, this is like Moxley's specialty and whatnot. There was some blood, could have been a little bit more, but there was still blood there. And of course, Janelle's trying to get into Moxley's head, giving them the double birds and whatnot. Of course, I do like also that during this match, some really good spots, we had the fans chanting, "That's good shit. That's good shit." We do hear, we do see Moxley one time call Janelle a motherfucker for for stuff he was saying to him and trying to overcome with him as well. But of course, also there was the thumbtack spots, where Janelle was avoiding being slammed into the thumbtacks. I don't think he got 69 like Chris Jericho got in the Asylum match, which I still would say this day was still good. I like the Asylum match, but again, I still felt it was maybe like 5 minutes too long or something like that. But anyways, of course, just avoiding, because as Jericho described that, he says, taking a bump in the thumbtacks, like being thrown into like the ring of fire, like that's it, you can't recover from it or whatnot, unless to try to make you like an ultimate badass and whatnot, which is exactly what they're trying to have Jon Moxley come across as. But sorry, I just had a text of seeing if it was important. But the thumbtack spots towards the end, Janelle got slammed to like 2 or 3 times. I think it was. He took one to like just to the back where there were spots there. Moxley took off off Janelle's shoes and actually had him go feet first to the thumbtacks, which I was like pretty hurt. And then he did win by hitting I forgot what they're calling his finisher. It wasn't the dirty deeds. It was something though where he got Janelle got face planted into the thumbtacks. And he got a couple of them into the forehead or something like that. And that's where Moxley would get the win in his AEW interview. So yeah, brutal, definitely physical match. Definitely what we wanted to see out of Dean Ambrose and Moxley. Like this is some stuff we should have been seeing with that no holds barred street fight with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32. But of course, as Ambrose said in his interview with Wade Miller, Rebecca, was that they basically just were trying their best not to make this like that match had they had no intention of making that match match of the night, which it easily could have been, but they were making sure it didn't happen, and Brock didn't want to do anything because artistically, this is a match that Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, Jonathan Good is meant to do. As of course we learned back in December with that very disappointing match he had with Seth Rollins for the IC title. That once again, yes, Ambrose and Moxley's going to be having just regular singles matches, but his specialty is the extreme hardcore match as well. And yes, even though of course there was I was really asked what you think of Fyter Fest now, but it's like, okay, I'm still, talking about it, but I'll get back to you in a second, Danny boy. Anyways, but again, Moxley's going to be bringing out more eventually with him being extreme. He's going to have more ideas to bring about. But once again, as a wrestler, as a creative person, as an artist, you can't go all out. Again, no pun intended, right away. You gotta, have us leave us one more. So if you go out and do everything, at once, then there's nothing to be looking forward to down the line. So great main event. Probably again my favorite match of the night, I gotta say. Even though this wasn't the actual match of the show because it was non-sanctioned. But great match. I enjoyed it. Great use of weapons. After the match, though, Kenny Omega came out and him and Moxley get into a brawl. They start fighting. Of course, Omega used a couple weapons like a guitar and whatnot, just get payback for the beatdown that Moxley gave on Omega at the end of Double or Nothing when Moxley made his AEW debut as a surprise, debut, which he did attacking both Jericho and Omega after after a Double or Nothing, which I'm wondering if Jericho wins the AEW World Title, I can see maybe a triple threat match sometime down the line with Jericho, Omega, and Moxley. I think that could be a very good triple threat match for the World Title. Since Jericho and Omega are one lifetime against each other, and Moxley is going to be in the equation too. But of course, there was a beatdown. Moxley got some things in, but this was basically, Omega getting his revenge for what happened at Double or Nothing. But afterwards, Moxley's smiling. Like, he was smiling sadistically, just like, ha, 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 that's the best you got. This is what I love to have and whatnot, basically. And you just tell he's having some fun. So, good stuff, definitely. I look forward to seeing the match. Probably some type of a hardcore match or something like that when we get to All Out in August. And that, guys, is my review for AEW's Fyter Fest. And I will be watching Fight for the Fallen, which, again, takes place next Saturday, July 13th. But I will not be able to watch that night because I'll be out camping. But I will watch it sometime the following week and come up here and do another review for this. And, again, once, I'll definitely be doing some more AEW, videos on this channel as well, such as, not just pay-per-view reviews, but also, some previews, doing some weekly show, AEW weekly show reviews as well, on top of, NXT UK and NXT on Wednesdays, doing that as well. I will definitely, once we have more weekly shows, I'll be able to do more and make some predictions. Like, I like to make, card predictions and whatnot. And of course, again, we'll see where that goes from there. And of course, this coming week, again, typical reviews: Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT UK, NXT. I'll do my Extreme Rules preview and predictions and review the following Sunday. Of course, since Monday is actually baseball fans, Monday is the Home Run Derby. And since my boy Josh Bell is going to be in that Home Run Derby, I'm sorry, I got to do live reactions of him being in the Home Run Derby. Hopefully it's good, but I will still be watching Raw, of course, but I want to get a lot of reactions of Josh Bell in the Home Run Derby again. And probably sometime soon also, I should probably do my mid-season predictions and maybe some, trade deadline predictions for baseball. Just get some other content on the channel besides just, WBB, as I always say. Maybe today or tomorrow. I definitely, maybe, I have all day to myself today. I definitely have my top 10 special coming tonight, which is going to be top 10 NXT superstars of all time, just in their NXT run, not in their, not including anything on the main roster for them. I definitely also want to get my Takeover Toronto 2 card predictions done with as well. So again, just some upcoming things for this channel as well, guys. Once AEW gets their weekly show rolling in the fall, I'll definitely be able to do some card predictions and other videos for AEW as well. But once again, Fyter Fest was successful, and just being a show to remind us, hey, this is what AEW has to offer. Again, it wasn't as good as Double or Nothing, but it was still a great show to me, and it definitely succeeded in making me, interested in some other people. Again, Joey Janela, MJF, Hangman Adam Page, Darby Allin, and the guys I already knew, John Moxley, Cody Rhodes, Lucha Bros, The Elite, whatnot. So great show. Once again, I gave it a B+. Check the live chat one last time before going off the air here. The Throne Breaker. Yep, the Throne Breaker and Cody. The Street Fighter entrance by The Elite was awesome. That's why AEW feels so special for sure, because once again, they make their entrance feel special like NXT does. Drake 24/7 Maverick. Dean Ambrose doing the 69 tax, man. Oh yeah, boy, that was good shit back in 2016 with Ambrose and Jericho for sure. And I think he's now calling Dirty Deeds the Death Rider. Okay, yeah, it's the Death Rider. What we got. So yeah, I will so that's, I started looking at my phone. I had to do something really quick, but so I will probably come back up a little bit later on tonight. Again, I need time to finish the list. I have to run out to do a quick errand really fast, but I'll probably be up here live maybe in around 7-8 o'clock ish tonight to do my top 10 NXT superstars stream. I will do. And then maybe afterwards if I have time, because I'm not sure when my family's come back, because they're out somewhere that I was invited to go to, but I had to decline for personal reasons. But I'm not sure what's going to happen when they get back. Because again, my sister goes home on Sunday, so after that, things should be settling down. Of course, again, I do have a possible job offer, and just waiting to hear if I got the job or not. But so, guys, once again, enough about me though. But thanks for joining me live for this AEW Fyter Fest live review. Again, B+ for AEW. Also, since Robbie's in the live chat, as always, put him over by saying he has a bunch of great fantasy booking ideas as always. He definitely wants to write for AEW, NXT, and if things take off well with Paul Heyman running Raw, Eric Bischoff will be, executive producer or executive director of Crave, I think it's called, for SmackDown, following Extreme Rules. After that, so we'll see, where they go. But Robbie is definitely destined to write some such good shit for wrestlers. So if you like what you see on his channel, as always, get hashtag please sign Robbie trending on Twitter. But yeah, guys, again, I'll be up here later on again for my top 10 special of the week. So what are your thoughts getting on AEW Fyter Fest 2019? Leave thoughts down in the comment section below. There's always a slap a like on my videos, start comment on my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBody3. And also if you guys are total jackasses to me and being stupid idiots, if that's the case, then you just made the list because I had that shirt on today. All right, guys, so I'll see you guys all later on tonight for my top 10 special. I'm checking out. See you guys later. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out, everybody.